The plinths and graffiti remain as the only evidence of symbols dating back nearly 150 years that reopened deep wounds 12 months ago. Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederate States who fought a civil war to defend slavery, torn down in the Confederacy's former capital, Richmond, followed by others here and across the world as a global reckoning with historic racial injustice took on figures from Belgium's colonial era King Leopold to Christopher Columbus and George Washington.
Before last summer's global eruption over the deaths of African Americans at the hands of police, some US authorities had already started taking down Confederate monuments. And Richmond wasn't the first city where protesters started to topple these kinds of statues. But nowhere else in the US venerated the Confederacy quite like Richmond. Its Monument Avenue was once considered the ultimate Confederate tourist attraction.
And Confederate military leader Robert E. Lee was the crown jewel. His statue's removal by the state of Virginia has been held up by court battles led by some residents determined to keep Monument Avenue's last man standing.
All things Confederate are low-hanging fruit right now. It's going to move on to the founders, and then it's going to move beyond that maybe to the Vietnam memorials. Vietnam was not a very popular, and you say even on an international level, now there is some way somebody came up with that Winston Churchill was racist, and so you know there's threat of taking his monument down.
Richmond authorities set up a commission 2 years before last summer's protests to consider removing statues and recontextualizing this area. If the former has been mostly resolved, the latter is a more complex issue.
How does this city
evolve?
Right.
See, that's the going into politics like I have in the last 2 years. Yeah, I only decided to run a month ago, but that's what I'm saying. I've really been looking beforehand, and I've seen so many small opportunities for this state, not just the city, but the state to really become more than what it is. Like it's kind of like it's been holding itself back by holding on to traditions. I know that some people don't like the casino idea, but that's a very good idea.
The Southern Poverty Law Center estimates that while some 168 Confederate symbols were removed from public spaces last year, more than 2,000 remain, including this one in Eatonton, Georgia. Owen Fairclough, CGTN, Richmond, Virginia.